Hello and welcome back to another Final Table commentary. Today we got a 1K PKO from New Year's Series 2026. We've got Dimmy on the final table starting things off with the open silent mode. Kevin O. Star wins. Is that Romeo Pro? Fuck yeah, Romeo Pro on the final table. Lucky Fluke European. We got an Ace 9, 5 flop, 1 heart. The 10-7 of hearts hits the muck. Kevin O says that's no good. Moving on along, we get another open here by Dimmy. Ace-7 suited deuces call again. Queen-Jack for Romeo Pro is out of there. European in the big blind. With King-10 offsuit, going to be forced to see a flop and flop top pair as Kevin flops a set. They'll go for a bet here about half pot. European says, fuck me, I got a call with the backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw, top pair, right? Hopefully we don't raise. That'll put us in a real trouble. Ace-7 suited calls with a little bit of backdoor equity as well. 5 of clubs on the turn. Locks up the board for the deuces. European and Kevin have the same chip stack here. We got 18.4 blinds in the middle. European leads out 6 bigs. Kind of like a blockish bet, 1/3 size. 6 of hearts on the river. So 8-7 makes it straight. But other than that, it's 3-4 as well. Everything else misses though. All the queen, jack, jack 8, jack 7, spades. Very small raise on the river here by Kevin to 12 blinds, facing up another block bet by European with top pair. We'll see if they can read right into this one. Surely we don't 3-bet the river. It'll just be a call or fold, and most likely a call, but it would be a very nice fold if it's found. If European 3-bets the river, I've got no idea, but it's time to hang up the shoes in poker here for me. European finds the call, and we're going to see Kevin take down a big pot and put them in first place. So we got 4 players make the money, where we get $3,400 locked up. So that's something to note. We got 7 players, 4 make the money. And as well, thanks to KalipokerTV Poker Replays for the replay. If any point in time you find yourself not giving a shit for the commentary, there'll be a link in the description down below to the video. And KalipokerTV, so you can go check out some poker action in some silence. Check out this spicy 3-bet here by European, and we both flop quite well. Queen 4 suited comes in for a 3-bet. Makes it 8 blinds to go from the small blind. Jack 10-2 is the board, 2 clubs. Lucky Fluke with King Queen is open-ended with 2 overcards. They just face a jam on the flop here. I think we have to call. I think we have to call the King Queen. It's an overbet. We do have the slightest of equity favorites in our holdings. We'd prefer a club if we're being honest. King Queen with a club maybe calls. Lucky Fluke lets go with a straight draw and flush or back. Sorry. Lucky Fluke lets go of the open-ended straight draw and 2 overcards. Jesus Christ, did I ever shit the bed there. I still think I would have flicked in the call there. We're not in the money, I understand that, but we're not like guaranteed to scoot into the money. We gotta play for chips in that situation. I understand European covers us for the bounty, but maybe if we, like, I don't think aces just rip the flop. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, ace jack might rip the flop, so that takes out a few of your straight outs, I do suppose. But then you know your 2 overcards are going to be looking clean. The thing is, there might be some sets. Probably not, though. Sets probably go for a smaller bet, too. They're not just going to overbet, rip it in there. They want value. Anyways, we got to fucking change up the pace here. European makes the nut flush. We got 35 blinds in the middle. Dimmy just with a pair of 6s here. Somehow put 17 blinds in the middle as I wasn't paying attention, as I was too busy thinking over the previous hand. All in by the nuts with 100%. Easy play for European in position. And Dimmy should just fold, right? They say, yeah, no way my pair of 6s is good here. 4-4 for star wins. Star wins thinks better of the spot and just lets her go. I was going to say, I think it's just a rip or fold. Don't think you really want to come in for a min raise with the 4-4 in this situation. You do got a very small bounty on your head. $250 is the minimum. This is not like you're going to induce a whole bunch of 3-bets because you're bounty, as we get a lucky fluke limp with 10-9 suited. Ace-9 for Demi comes along. Queen-5 suited. Silent mode's in there. 8-7 for Kevin also completes. No, that's just a check back on from the big blind if it's a limp pot, you idiot. And Kevin somehow leads with a straight draw to the 9. Ace-9 calls. Silent mode with the flush draw. Rips it all in for 18 blinds. Ace-9 calls. And we're looking for king or heart, and we don't get there. Silent mode's Gonzo Alonzo. Demi takes down a nice pot. What an action fucking start to the final table. I don't even know the words to say here. As Demi gets king, not much behind. So I think I have time for a sip of coffee. As they go for a 4 1/4 blind open with the king. I wonder if that's a read you can pick up on. Uh-oh, ace king and ace queen. I'm trying to drink some coffee here, Poker Stars. Queen jack limps it in. Holy shit. Kevin says 3-5. I might limp along too with the big stack. They say no, I guess I just fold. It's 3-5 offsuit. If Star wins, I think about a jam, but I actually like their play a whole lot better. We're not too short, 20-some blinds, 22.5. Surely we can come in for a smaller raise. Romeo Perot just calls ace queen from the small. Queen jack comes along to the 10-6-3 flop. 14 blinds in the middle. What's going on here, Poker Stars? Nobody has a pair. We got backdoor straight draws out the ass. And a 4 on the turn. So nobody has a pair, nobody has a draw. There's 14 blinds in the middle. It feels like a jack is coming on the river, doesn't it? It's just one of those spots. I haven't seen this shit before. It's just one of those spots. It feels like a jack's coming on the river. I can't believe that actually happened. Anyways, European with an ace and a queen. Just fucking felt like a jack was coming. When you know, you know. Anyways, we get a 10-7 suited for Romeo Pro. Do we open this one? 28 blinds. Feels like they will. But we do still want to make the money, right? We got 2 more players to bust. Romeo Pro says I have to tighten up here. That's a damn shame because they're a very aggressive player. Always fun to watch. But the 10-7 suited hits the muck in this instance. So you get a pair of 4s for European with a straight draw to the 6 and the backdoor heart draw. Demi with the pair of 5s, and I think a backdoor straight draw is in there as well. You're going to raise to 2 blinds, getting a little value here on the flop somehow. Facing the 1 blind bet by the pair of 4s and a king of spades on the turn. European still has their equity, but no heart draw. 8, 6, or 4 dealer. No, 2 of hearts. I really like a check raise bluff by European, but your opponent isn't super likely to bet the river unless they get there. So if we're being honest, now that I talk it out, I don't like a check raise on the river as much anymore. It doesn't seem so good. Like you might be able to get 2 pairs to think about a fold, but they might still hero call you as we get Jack-Jack versus Ace-6. Demi's going for big bets again. Ace-Jack is very reasonably calling the flop. Sees a dirty 8 of spades on the turn. I guess it's not that dirty, it just didn't improve their hand. Ace-Jack has to fold. 3-3 for Star wins. That's Romeo Pro, my apologies. Romeo Pro limps it in. You see, Starwins had the 4s earlier, and I said you would have just ripped it in or folded. Romeo Pro says, how about a limp, Brendan? Think about a limp next time. We face a raise to 3.5 blinds by Ace King for European, and Kevin calls the small with a King 4 suited. Romeo Pro says, yikes, dude, do we isolate jam? Do we call? Surely we call at the very least. There's no way we just fold 2.5 blinds into a pot of like 12.5. Get a Jack 6-4 flop. No improvement for the Ace King. Kevin does have the flush draw. Europeans 3s are best, but not the equity favorite, of course. Are they the equity favorite? Man, it might actually be pretty close. King 4 suited. Has a pair, Brendan. Open your eyes. 3-3 is no good. Has 1 out. The 3 of hearts as we get the Ace of spades on the turn. So Kevin has the board completely locked up. I'm glad I can read the board again. However, those 3s were dead pretty well on the flop. The equity favorite with 1 out. Are 3s the equity favorite? What an idiot. European bets half pot on the turn. Kevin just calls, and this might go check on nasty river cards. If we get a queen, king 10, another 4, Kevin makes a flush still. They lead out half pot. Weird play. I don't know what to think about it. European is going to be a wizard, and they're not raising this. This is just a call or fold, and they might just say, fuck it, I don't even know if we're good here. But then we've got ace king. Can we really just fold ace king? Not really. European does call. They're a wizard, but sometimes you're just in a situation where you have to find the call anywho. You can think and think, but you just click the call and lose sometimes. Anyways, Kevin's picking up some chips. Dimmy's got some chips. We got some real interesting cards being played here. 3-6 suited comes in for the open. Ace-4 calls the button as we're covered by the opener. 9-7-4 is the board. We got a flush draw versus a pair. Flush draw turns into a straight draw to the 5. Bets another half pot, and ace-4 somehow finds a value raise and a 3 on the river. Demi makes a pair. Ace-4 somehow value raised the turn? Do we just check the river? Surely, right? I don't understand how it happened, but it worked. And Kevin's got 9s? Queen 10 suited for Romeo Pro? We limp in 9s? What? Surely this is an open to 2 blinds. I don't get it. Kevin's on the 1K final table here with 100 blinds. I think I should just take notes, maybe. No. I don't know about that one. 8-5 flops a flush. 9-9 bets 1 blind. Romeo Pro has the pair of queens. Personally, I would call 1 blind. And then not proceed too much further beyond that. Lucky Fluke raises to 5 and they'll take the pot down. King 2, Romeo Pro folds. Lucky Fluke, I would fold the Queen 3. This might be a walk here for European. By the way, what should I call Lucky Fluke here? With that L being an I. Is it Yucky Fluke? Yucky Fluke? Yucky has a Y though. Is it I'm a lucky, like I lucky? No, should I just get rid of the idea of lucky? It's almost like Lucky Fluke, but it's an I. I don't know what to call them, but I'm calling them Lucky Fluke because they limp it on in here with an ace and a 9. European calls with the small with Queen 9. Jack 9 somehow raises to 4 3/4 blinds. Lucky Fluke will fold, and European's out of there too. The worst 9 takes the pot down, although it was suited. And pretty fucking connected too. Anyways, we'll move on along. Queen Jack European comes in for the open. Dimmy with Jack 10 will call. Kevin's in there with Ace 8. We get a 5-4, 2 flop, 2 diamonds. Nobody holds a diamond. Somehow Ace 8 leads half pot and takes it down. I think they had the best hand, but what are we doing here, Kevin? I don't understand it. Ace 8 with straight draw, sorry, the wheel draw. As Romeo Pro limps in Ace 8 suited. Star wins in the big blind with 10-4. Going to be forced to see a flop here. Kevin, do we come along with the 9 and the 5? Can you imagine if Kevin just rips it in here? No way, right? No, they're just disconnected. More idiot comments by the commentator. Dude's disconnected, and the commentator suggests, is he gonna jam here? 9-5 offsuit? Anyways, we get a little 8-7-5 flop. Kevin with the bottom pair and straight draw leads 1 blind. I just don't quite understand. Star wins with nothing. No, we got a straight draw to the 6, but that's no good. Romeo Pro top pair, top kicker. I would like a raise here. Romeo Pro says all in. Personally, I would have went smaller, but I kind of like this play even better Because if you make it like 4 blinds, whatever, we get a call. We're looking for a 9, 6, or 5. Anyways, we get a king and an ace. Romeo Pro gets the full double there. Don't know what's going on with Kevin. What are we doing, dude? Anyways, this is kind of cool. We get a limp by Dimmy. Kevin raises the 3 blinds with ace king suited. Star wins with a 5 and a 2. Surely lets this go. Dimmy finds the call and a 10-7-7 flop. See, this is the shit that's interesting, where you get these 2 players who are playing a little bit less standard than the regulars play. They get a flop where they miss. Let's see how they proceed. Kevin bets half pot in a spot where you probably bet quite smaller. But if you want to size up turn and river barrels to get it all in by the river, maybe you would want to go for a bigger size. As king 4 limps it in, Star wins, rips the ace queen off. Kings 4s. Oh, we got a king on the flop, ace or 10, but the 10 is a club, so that's a flush, and Kevin will knock out Star wins. And that's a damn shame. We lose a very strong body. Kevin gets another bounty, and we are 1 away from the money. Whoa, wow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 1 away from the money. 5-2 limps it on in, along with the queen 8 by Kevin. 7-7 for European. Might just rip it in here. That they do. 23 blinds. 7s. Say, yeah, I'm all in, dude. They'll take the pot down pre. King 9 raises it up to 2 blinds somehow. Kevin changes up the pace of play. Very interesting. We get an 8-2-3 flop. What do we got going on here? Straight draw, backdoor flush draw. Dimmy calls. We get a jack on the turn. Somehow we get another bet and another call. 6-5 comes along on the turn with the straight draw to the 4. And 2 live cards with the 6 and 5, I suppose. I'm really guessing here today. This is a very interesting final table. I wasn't sure if I should do it because, you know, 4 people make the money. It's a 1K buy-in. It's got a few regulars on the final table. European had a nice big stack. Romeo Pro, we had silent mode, and Star Win seems like a tournament I should watch. But if I'm being honest, I'm completely confused by the play here as we get a limp by Queen Jack. Somehow Kevin with King 5 hasn't checked it back yet. Oh yes, he has poor internet. Poor Kevin. Time for some coffee, I suppose. I'm just going to make you sit here and watch this with me because like Kevin's just disconnected and we're all going to wait for him to come back. We had a little 9-8-4 flop. Goes check, check, queen on the turn. Kevin leads out half pot with the king and the 5. Oh my gosh, Kevin leads out. Europeans got top pair. They'll find the call and a deuce on the river. Kevin bets full pot. If I'm European, I just call here. A raise seems like it is some wizardry, if we're being honest. Go for a very thin value jam. We at least have to call. No way we fold, right? European call sees the good news. They're up to about 35 blinds. Kev with the king and the queen will go to 2 blinds from the small. European. That's not European, that's Romeo Pro. I apologize once again. Romeo Pro with the jack and the 10 and the big blind will call. We get an ace jack 4 flop, straight draw to the 10 for Kevin with 2 live cards at the king and queen. Romeo Pro with the best of it with the pair of jacks in the backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. 4 on the turn. Good card for Romeo. You know what? A pair of 4s turned into 3 of a kind. It's probably not going to bet on the flop. Raise 2 blinds pre-flop, like queen 4 off somehow. I don't know, but we find a 10 on the river. Kevin does make a straight, bets 6 blinds into about 17. If I'm Romeo Pro, I think about a bluff. I say I don't quite have enough chips to find it. Oh, I might actually just fold as our 2 pairs are no good any which way we go about this. Romeo Pro says, I think we still have to call just in case they've got some sort of flush draw that missed. Or some sort of like Queen X or King X. It's just a straight blocker. Anyways, that was a damn shame. Romeo Pro pays off a bet, sees the bad news. Get a little break to skip through. We come back. Kevin's got queens. Kevin with the ladies opens the 3 blinds. And let me tell you, there's a read to be found in your opponents who go for a bunch of limps. And then they randomly raise big. Let me tell you, there's some gameplay analysis that can be done on those situations. Queen 9-6 is the flop. I'm not going to commentate on what the analyses are because they should be so obvious. It's like your opponent limps, and then they randomly go for a 3 or 4 and a quarter blind open. So we got aces for Dimmy. King 4 will limp it in here, I suppose. Aces will raise 3.63. Take it down pre. Lucky Fluke with an ace and a 4. I don't know what to do with 14 blinds. This is a tight spot. We're 1 off the money. I fold. Yeah, I think so. So got Romeo Pro the shorty hanging out with 8 1/4 blinds. If Kevin defends here, I don't fucking know, man. What's going on, Kevin? This is a 9 and a 4. 9 and a 4. Let that shit go, buddy. Let that shit go pre-flop. Ace Jack. That's about half pot or exactly half. And faces a small check raise. Instant check raise by the 9-4 with 3 in a row. No heart in their hand. And they face a 3-bet jam right on the flop. European takes it down. What an interesting happening that was. 8-4 suited will limp it in. This is a jam pre-flop. Ace 3 will rip and take it down. No, Ace 3 checks it back and we both got a flush draw and we're going to get it in on the flop. Looking for 8s and 4s for Romeo to bust. Hopefully we don't see it. Quick call by the little flush draw. 8s and... Oh no, a 4 on the turn and no diamond or ace and Romeo's gone, dude. 17 blinds. Slide over to Kevin and another bounty. Romeo is out of here. Oh boy, ace 8 limps it on in. 9-9 rips it in. Ace 8 calls, looking for an ace or a couple of 8s, dude. We're gonna need an ace or a couple of 8s. Diamonds don't work. Diamonds, they just don't work. 1 8 is no good at either dealer. I said a couple of 8s. You put 1 out there expecting me to be excited, but Kevin lost the pot. Anyways, 6-4 suited. Raises to 3.5 blinds. A quick call by the King 9. And we get a 9-8-4 flop. We got bottom pair in the backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw versus the toppest of pairs. European checks it on over wisely. And they see an all-in jam. We can fold. Guess what I was saying earlier about your opponents just going for huge raises. It doesn't make sense. They've just got a hand that has better equity than you do. I don't get it, but they just do it anyways. So just play frickin' fine poker and fold. Fold your bottom pair there when they raise too big. I don't know why Dimmy did it though. Like, what are we getting called by? I wonder if like Jack 9, 10-9 find themselves in a weird spot where they have to call, or do they just fold facing like the 5x overbet pot on the flop? Like, what even calls their sets? 2 pairs? 2 pairs? Oh, 2 pairs are better? Yikes, dude. Anyways, we got a King 6 float by European. This is fun poker. So they got the backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. It's a 1 blind bet in what appears to be a limp pot. Lucky Fluke with the toppest of pairs makes a full house on the turn. They bet another 3 blinds, and King High is actually possible to be best here still. European finds the call. Ace on the river. King High might hero call the river. If I got King High, I'm gonna hero call. Is it a stack to pot ratio? No, it's not 1-to-1. Sorry, I can't read from this screen. But this screen is better. This screen I watch from, and I don't know why. How about I read from this screen here, where I can read how many blinds are in the middle? Can you imagine your eyes are so bad you can't even read how many blinds are in the middle? Whoa, I gotta go see a doctor, dude. Ace 9 versus a 10 and a 5. European limps it on. To be fair, the screen is not only just poor resolution. The monitor's bigger, but the display is smaller. You know what I mean? The screen in which the table is displayed. That's smaller, so it's harder to read something that's smaller, of course. But my eyes are still piss poor. Demi's got a couple of 8s. They just come in for a 4 blind raise, and guess what we do here, folks? We just fold. I don't care that it's just a pair of 8s. Those 8s are just going to be best. Look at Demi's got kings. No way they min raise. They make it 3 blinds to go. I'm surprised they didn't make it like 4 or 10-6 calls. We get a full pot size bet on the flop, which makes no sense on the 7-4-4 board. I don't get that. Demi says, I don't really like value, guys. Ace Queen sees a limp here. Lucky fluke. 10-9. We'll let that shit go facing a jam. The Ace Queen, to be fair, could have went for a smaller bet, as we are in the money here. European, if I'm going to pick on the other players, I'll pick on European as well, who's a much better player than I am. That Ace Queen surely could have went for a 4 blind raise, right? Even though I do that myself too. So I see why they just jammed in the Ace Queen. Whenever I jam in the Ace Queen, though, I always feel like to myself, you know what, I think that was a pussy play, and I think I could have just raised to 4 blinds, try to play it a little bit of post flop out of position in a bloated pot with an ace and a queen. As this Ace Queen for a lucky fluke is no good, as got a pair of 8s for Kevin, taking down the pot. Ace 5, Demi raises the 2 blinds. Ace 2 suited for lucky fluke, and think about a 3-bet jam here, and I really like the spot if we're being honest. Lucky fluke says I don't like it and folds. Kevin with a 9 and a 7 somehow hasn't folded. There they go. They fold 6-4 for European. They limp it on in. You get a little queen, jack 7 flop. European bets, takes the pot down. King queen, ace 2 suited, king 9 suited. We're going 3 ways to a flop here. Somehow ace 2 bets 1 blind, and king 9 of diamonds calls on the 7-5-2 board with no diamond. King queen comes along. Jack on the turn. Ace 2 bets another blind and faces a little raise by king 9 of diamonds. There's 15 in the middle. We get another 8 blind bet, and the pair of 2s fold, and king 9 takes down the pot. After raising the turn and betting on the river, Kevin is just bullying Demi there. But I don't understand it in the slightest. You got 9-8 suited, betting 2 blinds here on the 6-3-2 flop. I guess this play makes a little bit more sense. A 6 on the turn, lucky fluke with the 7 high. Somehow is behind, has the straight draw, and might still call. They say, no, I'm going to fold here. 9 high takes down a little pot. 10-9 suited, Kevin's being a bully. European, we'll see if they can put a stop to the misery. Jack 5-4 is the flop, and we're going to face a bet. And do we check raise? Maybe, but there's no diamond out there, so probably not. It's a half pot size bet. A small check raise is kind of disastrous if we face a call. Now, anyways, European calls the flop bet and finds some more straight help on the turn. A 3 or an 8. But the 8 is actually no good. The 3 on the river is clean as fuck. Somehow 10-9 is no good. Somehow 10 high, no good. European bets 8 blinds with the straight, takes the pot down, and Kevin's still moving along, cruising along with 64 blinds. European with the queen 9 suited will limp it in. Demi will raise way too big. No, that's actually a very standard size, 3.5 blinds. European might call this. That they do. Good stuff for Demi. They found a very, very good raise size pre-flop. Oh, what are we doing? Betting full pot on the ace-5 flop with a flush draw out there. We bet full pot, take the pot down. That's no good. We're not likely to get called by queen 9 much further any which way we go about it, but betting full pot surely gives our opponent the opportunity just to fold all their garbage. Could I give him a free turn even? Anyways, we move on along. We got a king 9 jam for Lucky Fluke, and they'll take the pot down pre. 8-10 suited. Kevin limps it on in here. European with a 9 and a 5 will call from the small. We get a 7-6 check back by the big blind. 10-6-4 is the flop, and a pair of sixes just fold on the 3 flush board. Nice play by Demi there, I do suppose. I sure hope they had a 6, otherwise I look kind of stupid. 3-3 for Demi, limps it in. Kevin's coming along from the small with the 9 and the 5, betting 1 blind on the ace high board. Somehow 3s find a raise and 5s call. 9 on the turn, we bet again, and a fucking ace on the river. Kevin faces the jam. Nice play by Demi, maybe? Jamming the fucking 3s with no showdown value? When the ace counterfeits the 2 pairs of Kevin? What's going on here? Guy, you got no idea, guys. What's going on? Ace 3 calls, 8-7. Somehow has no equity. We'll see what Kevin elects to do. Bet another 5 blinds. European will just call and see a river card here. Hopefully it's not a heart or a queen or 10. European just calls, and it's a 5 of hearts. You know what? I think we still call here with ace 3. I think it's just a check call. There's the jam by 8 high. We'll see if European finds a way to overthink this one and fold. No, they call pretty quickly and see the good news. They've got 40 blinds now. That's good news. That'll be fun to watch. Ace King will come in for a raise. Surely not an all-in size. Will come in like 4.5, 5, 6 blinds. 10? Holy fuck. Is that a 10 blind raise? European takes it down pre. Personally, I like 6 blinds with my big size, but European says just go 10. Jack gets no action. 9-9's all in and 9-8 calls. We're looking for some 7s and some stuff. A 5 and a 10 mega straight. Kevin doesn't get there. Somehow I called the turn card. Anyways, PokerStars just kind of does that shit, you know. Ace 9, ripping it all in. Not going to get called this time. Lucky Fluke. Gets 1 double, and that's that. Ace Queen might get a double here some which way. Don't think deuces just rip it in, right? They do call though. Ace 9 will rip it in. Ace Queen gets this in, and then deuces fold with the being the equity favorite. Alright. Some players call with their deuces, and I don't like it. But anyways, we'll get that isolated pot. Oh, we get chop opportunities, and we find a king on the river for a fucking chop, dude. Lucky Fluke is not so lucky. That's more like a yucky fluke. So we got 7s for Demi. King Jack for Kevin. 7s make it 3.5 blinds. Kevin calls. We get a 9-4-3 flop, and all in play for 26 blinds when there's 7 in the middle. It makes no sense, dude. There's smaller sizes if we want to isolate the pot, you know, protect our equity. We can bet really small, actually. We don't need to go all in for like 4 or 5x the pot. Whatever. 4 blind raise here by Lucky Fluke. I don't mind this. It's still a little bit too big. It's still a little bit too big, but like 3.5 blinds. 3.7 is actually a pretty cool size. 4 blinds is just a little bit too big as we go 3 ways to the King 3-2 flop. You know what? If I'm being honest, if we're playing super deep poker, I actually kind of like a 3.9 blind size. That's just all nitpicking. Like 4.4 is like very rare. But if you want a super big size, go 4.4 pre-flop from the small blind just to put your pressure, put some pressure on your opponents. Holy shit, that was a lot of P's in a sentence. Ace 7 bets 4 blinds, getting Ace 7 to fold, and that's kind of cool there. Kevin bullying European a little bit. So we get a couple of 5s. They're going to raise to 2 blinds. Kevin calls the Ace 8 of spades in the big blind. Queen 9-2 is the flop. It goes check, check, 9 on the turn. Kevin bets 1 blind. I kind of get a small bet here by Kevin. And I really like the raise here by European to 3.5 blinds. King on the river completes the flush, a few straights. Kevin somehow bets half pot. I actually don't know what to do here. 5-5s. I think I fold. Somehow European sniffs it out, finds the call, and sees the good news. I don't quite understand that one, but European is in Kevin's head. So we got a couple of ducks, an ace and a 4 and a 10 and a 7 and a nice king queen flop. Deuce is looking for a 2. Lucky Fluke is looking for a jack. Kevin's looking for that pair of aces to hold up. That pair of aces turns into 3 of a kind. I don't think Dimmy continues to bluff, but I'm just wrong. Somehow faces the check raise jam. Kevin quickly rips the turn, takes the pot down. European gets another walk here with 9-2. Whoa. Ace 3 limping it in, and a 3 and a 4 forced to see a flop, and we both got straight draws. Lucky Fluke with the flush draw as well. 7 on the turn. Goes bet call, and somehow Dimmy makes the straight here. Lead jams. Lucky Fluke is just out of there with ace high. King 8 comes in for the open. King Queen calls the small. Queen 6 completes the big blind, and we get a 7-6-3 flop. It's one of those spots where somehow a 6 will come magically every single time. Is the thing that's so magical, I suppose. King 8 raises it up here for European. Queen 6. I was going to say, if we're going to bet 2 blinds on the flop, I think we have to call this raise. Kevin says, no siree, we're out of there. And a nice bully play by European this time. But like I said, European's in Kevin's head, so what can you do if you're Kevo? What's going on here? We got a Kevo doesn't quite roll off the tongue like Steve-O does. Kevo, Steve-O. Steve-O is much better. I shouldn't have tried it. So we got a pair of 2s for European. Kevin with an overcard to the 10 in the backdoor straight draw. He's looking for a 10 or 9. 10 blinds in the middle. Kevin bets another 5. Very interesting sizing, but I suppose what size would you go? I don't even know. Maybe a little smaller, but I don't know if that's going to get enough respect. Very interesting spot there for Kevin, so I've got no comment on whether he made a good play or bad play in that instance. I don't know what size he should have went. And he got a pair of 2s to fold, so hats off to him. 9-3 somehow flops top pair, and we bet 1 blind to get a call. Ace 6 picks up a straight draw to the 3. An ace also works. A 7 is no good. Kevin checks the river. Still with the toppest of pairs. 9 blinds slide their way. Why doesn't 9-3 bet the river? I don't quite understand. Whatever. Ace 8 will rip it in here for 11 blinds. Ace 7 calls. Kevin's out of there with the king and the queen. Jack 5-3. We're looking for a 7. Is there some chop opportunities? I don't think so. I could be wrong about that, though. I can't quite read the board that quick. Oh, fuck me, I'm tired. A6 bets 1 blind. 3-10 with the bottom pair calls. We get a heart on the turn. Lucky Fluke does have that heart draw. Ace or 6 are good. 7 of clubs is not an ace 6, nor is it a heart. Somehow Europeans pair of 3s holds up, and they'll just show it down and take the pot. Albeit very small. Jack for Lucky Fluke comes in for the open. King 10. Do we 3-bet jam here? I kind of like a 3-bet jam, but we don't need to do it. European says we are going to. We're going to look for a king, dude. Some clubs works. No, that heart on the turn is nasty. 2 outer doesn't come. Lucky Fluke gets a nice one. They're in first place position now. I like the aggressive play. Oh my lord. 6-8 suited rips it in there. Offers up their bounty, and they do get the fold from King 9. Queen 8 flop stop pair bets 1 blind. Lucky Fluke with 3 in a row gets the hell out of there. Jack 9, well, rip it in and take it down pre, which is an interesting play as well. Aces for Kevin there, coming for the open. King H jams into aces. Ace on the flop, we're looking for some hearts or chop pots. That 8 on the river means nothing. King 8 rips it in and dies. Kevin gets a big bounty. We are four-handed. Three-handed, sorry. Can you imagine fucking up that one? We were just four-handed. Somebody busts and the idiot says we're four-handed. Oh my god. Oh, Queen Jack somehow comes along. It's still best here. Kevin with Queen 6 bets 8.4. That's full pot. Lucky Fluke with the better Queen High has to fold. Three-handed, folks. We are three-handed, not four-handed. Three-handed. We've got $5,400 locked up plus bounties on top of it. Kevin bets one blind here. Queen High call. Or sorry, Queen 8. Ah, fuck me. Queen 8 with the pair of queens, not Queen High, you dum-dum. They hang in there. Kevin makes a pair of threes on the river and checks it down. Loses. Whoa, wee. I am stumbling over my words. European's in a little bit of a fuck situation here with the pair of fives. We both make two pairs on the turn. That's disastrous for European, but there's a one-liner to a 7. I think we still lose here if we're being honest. Queen on the river. I don't think it goes check. I think Europeans just bust a. Oh no, he doesn't even go all in. 6.4 blinds. Oh no, he didn't even go for the bounty. European calls. Why didn't he go all in? Why did he just make it like 6 blinds? What's going on there? Europeans all in with the Queen and the Jack. Europeans all in with Queen Jack. Ace 10 isolates. 2-4 for Kevin. Gets the hell out of there. 10 on the flop, we get a straight draw. Jack on the turn is good news. 9 on the river means nothing. European does get the double triple up. The double triple up. Oh, that's a new one. Ace 6 rips it into King Queen. We're looking for kings and queens. Aces and 9s also work. Queen on the river, that's what European's looking for. Somehow they're back in the game with 20 blinds. Ace 3 versus Ace 5. Do we rip this one in? No, we're just going to limp it on in, and Kevin checks it on back. 8-8-7 flop. Kevin bets full pot. European calls, and we're off to the turn. No, European folds, and we're off to the next hand, actually. 10-10. 7 deuce. That's out of there. Queen 2 calls. Excuse me. I burped and hiccuped at the same time. Jack 7-5 is the flop. Goes check. 4 on the turn. Oh, God. I actually slept pretty well last night. And I had a nap this morning. Don't know why I'm so tired, but I sure as shit am. Queen 3 comes in for the open. Queen 10 in the big. We'll defend with a call. Look at all those queens, dude. All 4 of them are accounted for, and we're chopping the pot, providing there's no 10 or 3. Is there any other potentials? A king is actually a straight for European. A 5 on the river. We just play queens, ace, jack. We chop it up. Unfortunate turn card there for European, but it is what it is. My lord, I can't stop yawning. Chop. King 6, we'll see if Lucky Fluke elects to play it here. They say no, we're just moving on along. Ooh, ace 10 versus king. This could get in pre-flop somehow. There's a raise to 6 blinds, a 3 bet. Ace 10 just calls, we get a 5-4-2 flop. Betting a call, 8 on the turn. Lucky Fluke rips the turn. Does ace 10 call? No siree. Straight draw and overcard hits the muck. Kevin with the 8 and the 6 comes in for the open. 8-6 opens. Queen 3 hasn't folded yet, then does fold, and the raise gets through pre. Whoa. 10-7, lucky fluke. Don't even do it, just fold. There you go. European limps in queen 2, and we get a check back by the 6 and the 5 flop and bottom pair. Bets half pot and takes it on down. Ace 5 gets a walk. And king 2 gets a walk. And ace 2 limps it in. Kevin with a 9 and the 3 might think about a raise. They check it on back swiftly and find a pair of 3s. They bet 1 blind. They get called by the ace high with the backdoor flush draw, and we find another 3 on the turn. Kevin bets 2 more. 2 more blinds by Kevin. European says, fuck it, I think I call once more. 4 on the river, so some straights get there, but the flush draw misses. Kevin bets full pot, and European will think about a hero call. I wouldn't be surprised if they find it. I would click call here a lot. I would call here often. Nice fold by European. They are on another level here. Not just going to give away any chips there with the ace high. European folds correctly. We flop top pair versus a pair of 5s. We bet really small, get a call, 8 on the turn. We pick up a straight draw to the 9. Kevin still just with a pair of 5s and 2 pair draw to the 7. Will fold to the half pot bet on the turn. 8-9 suited comes in for the open. King queen calls us small, and we get a king queen 3 flop 2 diamonds. We got top 2 versus the flush draw. Check raise on the flop and a quick call ace on the turn. It's not a diamond card, that's what matters. No equity picked up for Kevin. They see a small bet and just fold facing it. 9-6 European limps it in. We get a quick check back ace 8-7 flop. European bets 1 blind. Faces a raise somehow by 10-2 on the ace 8-7 flop. 9-6 calls, 3 on the turn. Somehow Kevin is still best with 10 high. European calls again on the turn. Do we check raise? We do check raise. Beautiful play. And 10-2 hits the muck. I've got no fucking clue what 10-2 is doing there. No idea. Ace check. 10-2. Oh my. Kevin with the ace and the 6 now. They come in for the open. Face the 3-bet jam by 4-4. And they'll just get the hell out of there. What was 10-2 doing? What was 10-2 getting up to? Blinds go up. King Jack looks like it gets a walk. King Jack this time not getting a walk for European. Kevin opens it up. Ace 10-0. European thinking about a 3-bet jam. They find the call and top pair. Good news for European fans. Ace or Jack for Kevin fans. Backdoor spades in there as well. Deuce of spades on the turn. This is Jack also. I already said the Jack works, you dumb. Anyways, Kevin doesn't improve. European bets half pot and takes it on down with the toppest of pairs. Queen 5 opens the button, gets a call, and a 10-6 completes the big, and a king high board with a couple of clubs out there. Lucky flukes bets the flush draw, takes the pot down, and they get a walk. 10-7 raises it up for Kevin. Very interesting play here. Ace 4 hits the muck. European with the queen 5 calls the big blind and flops 2 pairs. Bad news for Kevin. They got the middle pair here. They bet 2 blinds, about half pot. I might face a check raise. They do. 5 blinds to go. A quick call. Ace of hearts on the turn. Surely Kevin can fold the pair of 10s here. King Jack gets there. Hearts get there. There's 2 pairs that beat you. There's a pair of queens that beat you. A pair of aces that beat you. Although to be fair, there's less likely to be a pair of aces that beat you. It's not likely there's a random ace-x that check raises the flop, you know what I'm saying? 6-7, the open ender with the backdoor flush draw gets it in here. Lucky Fluke with top pair, calls with top. I already said top pair, you dum dum, and a 3 on the river. That's a straight. Kevin survives. 20 blinds for Kevin. They got a king and a 10. They'll limp it on in. Jack 7 calls from the small. Jack 5 in the big for European, who's somehow in first place. They rip it all in, dude. That's an interesting play, and they take it down pre. 6-4 limps it in. Kevin quickly rips it in with the king and the 9 and takes it down pre. Queen 4 raises 2 blinds. Ace 10 raises to 6 and takes it down pre-flop. Ace 3 suited rips it in. Jack 10 suited might call. Says nope, I'm not going to. Queen 6 opens it up and an ace and a 2. Finds the fold. Jack 3 calls the big blind. Ace 6-2 flop. Pair 6s bets. Kevin raises with the Jack 3 and gets a call. Finds a 3 on the turn. Checks it on over. What is Jack 3 doing on the flop? Faces a 3 blind bet on the turn. Calls it. King on the river. Check on the... what the fuck? Somehow that pot got huge with the Jack and the 3. Kevin with a pair of 2s here, a pair of 8s for Lucky Fluke, raises it up to isolate it, and a pair of 2s hits the muck. King Queen, Kevin rips it in, 10-4, might call for a 2k bounty, 6 blinds. We might also fold because we don't want to double up our opponent. There's also like a 5k ladder, which is probably a little bit more important than a 2k bounty, as we get a couple of 8s in European shoes. We can just limp or rip. If we think our opponent's going to rip over some sort of not all in play pre-flop, then we do it. European says bet 2.5 blinds, get a call by the 9-6 suited, ace 9-2 flop. European bets 1 blind. Kevin rips it in for 7. European's going to be tempted for a call. They find it. They got 8.8%, and that's too many 8s out there. They find an 8 on the turn. Just like that, they get the 2k bounty. We do lose Kevin in the worst way possible. But to be fair, they played a wacky game here today. It's not that they played horrifically, I suppose, but it's just very non-standard. Very non-standard. And we got one fucking cooler here, that's for sure. Ace Queen versus Ace King pre-flop. 40 blinds deep, this gets in, and somebody's going to bust out. Somebody's in some trouble here. European makes it 8 blinds, a quick 4 bet to 14 by Lucky Fluke. European will rip it in, and we get a quick call. Looking for queens, dude. King on the flop, we're looking for 10. Somehow Lucky Fluke picks up equity with straight draw to the 10, and they're still going to lose, though. 7-3, limps it. Oh, no, that's a 3 blind open by European's Ace King once again. If I'm 7-3, I just flick it in there. We've got 1 blind in the middle with 1.7 behind. Hard to find better spot. We got a flip here. We find a 6. Looking for a 4 for European. Nope. Lucky Fluke, that lucky bastard. Finding 3 6s. That's the devil's number. And we got a couple deuces. We're all in versus 8 9. Looking for 8s and 9s or a 7. Comeback is real. Fuck yeah. Let's see it happen. Comeback is real. Is right. Jack 6. This isn't an easy play here. I don't know what to do with it. Lucky Fluke limps it in. Finding 3D Jacks even. Bets 1 blind and we'll take the pot down. That's an interesting little happening there. We got a King 2 and a 9 and a 2. A walk for Lucky Fluke there. King 4 rips it into queens. We need a king or a couple of 4s. A 5s work. A club works. Not here, not today. That will be the end of the show. European gets the job done, and they get the New Year's Series victory. How much was it for the victory? About $18,000-$19,000. Good job, European. European. They come in here with being in about 2nd or 3rd place, and they find a way to hang out long enough to get the job done. All the regs started to bust off quickly, and then it was European and the non-regs, I guess you could call them. Lucky Fluke, I think I've seen before. But Dimmy here and Kevin, we had an interesting game to watch. It's always fun to see what these players do on the high stakes tables. It's good to know the game's still alive, and that is the end of the show. So if you made it all the way through, thanks for checking this bullshit out. If you got any comments or suggestions on improving the show, fire them down in the comments below. And until next time, adios, amigo.